What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome, and this is the TCMMRC Grotesque25, and it's a budget build Cinewhoop. This guy comes in at $126 from Banggood and is pre-assembled. The thing you do have to add is a receiver, and they actually even give you the wires all soldered up for you to do that. I added one on the bottom. You can see I took off the plate there to do that. I'll talk about that later. But the question is this a good budget Cinewhoop? Is this something that you're going to want to start, filming indoors with? It's a little bit beefier than some of these other pusher style whoops that I've flown in the past with these 1404 motors. I believe they're 1404 2750 kV, rose gold colored, pretty darn nice. And I use this Instago 2. Actually, this is the Caddx Peanut, same thing as the Instago 2, but this is a great little FPV camera. Stabilizes, pretty inexpensive, and it's lightweight, so it's a good little choice. You can film in 4K. So I printed out this mount. It didn't come with this, but it does come with the adapter here. Yeah, nice little build. You can see we've got some TPU protection there in the front, a little TPU mount for the plug in the back, one here for my antenna. Got my other antennas coming out the back. It does come with some foam that you can attach to the ducts to make sure that you're not marking up your walls. Yeah. It's an analog camera, and the VTX is switchable up to 400 milliwatts. Now, it is not connected via smart audio out of the box, so if that's something you want to do, you're going to have to do some soldering on the inside. Also, if you wanted to wire up, say like an ELRS receiver, also you're going to have to wire that in. Now, I chose an XM Plus mostly because I had one laying around and I didn't have to do any soldering to get that connected. I have to solder the wires, but it doesn't matter. Well, they gave you this connector here to connect it because this post is kind of in the way, and then you can connect to Betaflight. It's a micro USB to USB-C, so that's a little bit different. And I got another set of Racer Star. These are pink props that I could add if I wanted. I think they're kind of random, the colors that you get, plus some other little hardware screws and things like that that might be useful. I've flown on a handful of different batteries. I tried a 650, an 850, and 1000, or I think it was 1100 milliamp hour batteries. It'll fly on a 4S, and I like the feel of the lighter batteries versus the heavier one, but that's gonna cut down on my flight time and something you need to consider. Now, I also flew it around my house, it's a Cinewhoop, right? So I wanted to see, could I do kind of like a fly-through video of my home with this guy? And then I compared it to this one, the DJI Avada. And then I did the same fly-through in my house with this. Now, I recorded on this Insta360 Go, so you can see the footage there. Another option might be something like this. This is an Insta SMO 4K. It's another lightweight camera. This is a Beta FPV Insta360 collaboration. Naked GoPro. You can put a full-size GoPro on this. I think these motors are big enough, but I don't think that that's something you want to do. Although the quality coming out of that is going to be better. It's going to severely limit your flight time, but it could be done. So this $1,200 Cinewhoop, how does it compare to something like this $126 deal? Well, let's take a look at the footage and we'll talk about it. Okay, so here we go with the TMMRC, and just tell you, this was difficult. I think this was like take 12. I just kept getting sucked into the walls. It is really hard to do indoors, outdoors. Like this is one of the hardest ways to fly, and this certainly wasn't a perfect take, but I'll let you just kind of enjoy the video as I attempted to do kind of a one-take real estate shoot through the house. I didn't spend a whole lot of time editing or speeding up or slowing down or even stabilizing, which you definitely would probably want to do. Now here's a little contrast with the the DJI Avata. Way easier. I think this took me 3 takes. Certainly could
could spend some more time and do it better, but you know, I don't know that I need to. This is the way to go. I love this thing for flying indoors. It's so smooth. The picture, I mean, it looks in the goggles, it looks almost like it does what you're watching here. So certainly not the case for the other one, which I'll show you a little bit more of that later. So go ahead and enjoy this one take here in my house. Here's the ending of both of the drones at the same time. They ended the same way, almost the same spot. I've got DJI on the top left and the MMRC on the lower right.
Okay, so, you know, that's the camera quality coming out of this guy. You could add a different camera if you wanted better quality or if you needed something less expensive. That's up to you. But I have to say, it took me, I don't even know how many attempts to get that mediocre fly through my house with this guy. I kept getting too close to the walls and would kind of do that vortex effect where it kind of got sucked in. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. This is a basic no frills quad, and that's really what you'd expect for $126. So definitely keep that in mind. I do like that it's a pusher style, and I didn't actually have any problems bumping off of the walls or in terms of like nicking a prop or anything like that. So that is nice. These ducks do a good job of protecting both the quad and objects while you're flying. But when it came down to it, this was absolutely a ton easier. I think flying the Avata just makes it's almost like a cheat code for Cinewhoops. It's so stable, it's so smooth, and that HD video feed is fantastic. So yeah, you can buy about 10 of these grotesque dudes for the price of one Avada, but I'd rather just have one Avada. But it's a whole lot of cash to get one of these things operating. Now, if I was a beginner pilot and I just wanted something to practice on, now if you can fly this, you can absolutely fly the Avada, so that's something you need to consider.
So those of you that want to see it fly outside, yeah, we can fly it outside. Yeah, we can do acro with this thing. You know, it's not made to do that, but it does okay. You know, it's going to get pushed around the wind a little bit. It's not a 5-inch. It's a Cinewhoop, but you can do some fun things with it outside as well.
Oh, I did mention I flew on a handful of different batteries, and really the only battery with this camera that kept it under 250 grams was a 450 milliamp hour battery, and really that was just too small. Now, if you're flying indoors, it actually doesn't matter. The FAA doesn't have jurisdiction flying inside, so you can be over 250 grams and not worry about that at all. So if the 250 gram thing is a sticking point, don't worry about the batteries as long as you're flying inside. Outside, different story. Now, if you want to learn more about rules like that and other 107 stuff, for our Patreons, I've got basically a whole curriculum on the 107. It's something I teach to high school students, and I have it available for my Patreons as well. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description down below. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. You're looking for a budget Cinewhoop? This is one of them. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.